The Cavs are in the middle of a pivotal season. They may have finally found a long-term answer at the small forward position in Jalen Tyson. At the same time, their all-star point guard, Darius Garland, is playing some of his worst basketball in his career due to a lingering toe injury. Let's take a look at the current state of the Cavs through these two players, starting with Tyson, who I feel isn't being talked enough among the national media. He's shooting 46.9% from 3, which would rank in the 94th percentile in the league according to Cleaning the Glass. He's hitting those threes at a high clip because the degree of difficulty for those shots aren't extremely high, which is totally fine. I mean, he doesn't need to be another Max Strus for this team. All he needs to be is that prototypical 3-and-D player who can space the floor while the stars do their thing. Tyson will set a lot of screens, especially when Evan Mobley is bringing up the ball. He'll slip the screen often, but sometimes he'll pop out for 3. He can hit the floater after rolling, or finish with the layup, and sometimes he'll hammer it down. Even though he doesn't have the quickest first step, Jalen isn't afraid to take the ball to the hole. He has nice touch around the basket. The only thing is that he doesn't have a lot of lift, and length affects him, so he'll miss shots near the rim or he'll get blocked. The thing I love most about Tyson is his effort level, and that comes in full display when he's in transition, because he's one of the first ones to leak out usually, and occasionally he'll come down with the hammer. His hustle is also on full display when he's crashing the boards, especially on the offensive side of the ball. He's rebounded about 6.7 of his team's misses, which ranks in the 93rd percentile. Tyson's mortar also shows up on the defensive side. You rarely, if ever, see him take a play off. Here you can see that he does a good job of staying on Devin Vassell's hip before he goes up for the contest. The main thing on defense that I'm concerned about when it comes to his individual defense is that he tends to fall for like every pump fake.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
He needs to learn how to stay down because he's either fouling his man or letting them get an open shot. So far, the Cavs have found a legitimate rotation player in Jalen Tyson, someone who's already started 16 of the 22 games he's appeared in. But to understand where this team really stands, we have to shift to one of its engines. Let's shift our attention to Darius Garland and see how his season has gone so far. Some players shoot better off the dribble because it helps them establish rhythm, and other players, like Tyson, are more effective as spot-up shooters. Garland has always been capable of both, but this season he's actually doing better shooting off the dribble. Here he hits the nasty crossover step back, and these plays show that the All-Star Garland is still in there. But unfortunately, we're just seeing shades of it though. At the time of this recording, Garland is shooting 26.6% from 3, placing him in the bottom 15th percentile league-wide according to Cleaning the Glass. Simply put, the shot isn't falling, and when Garland isn't scoring efficiently, he struggles to impact the game in other ways. When his shot wasn't falling before, at least he was able to hit a high clip of his shots at the rim. This year, he's only shooting about 50% at the rim, down from 61% last year. And it's not his floaters that haven't fallen as much, it's his layups when he gets to the basket. And that's when he's even able to get to the basket, which hasn't been as much this year. Only 16% of his shots are at the basket, which you can guess is a career low. So he's not only not able to get to the basket as often as he used to, but even when he does, he's not finishing as well from there as before. He's also not able to punish bigs when they switch onto him like he used to. This clip is from last year, and you can see that he's able to get past Vucevic for the basket. This clip is from this year, and you can see that he's unable to finish against Tony Bradley. He just had more zip and burst last year that you don't really see this year as consistently. He's clearly not 100% due to his toe injury, and you can tell by him wincing during the games. The good thing is that he has time before the playoffs, which is when his team will need him the most. But the bad thing is that this toe injury may or may not get better if he keeps playing through it. I guess time will tell on that. A silver lining is that he's doing a good job of drawing fouls. And another silver lining is that his shooting woes can't be this bad for the rest of the year. At some point, he'll have some positive regression to the mean. Unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. Anyone who's watched Game 7 of last year's finals knows how painful it can be when we get robbed of seeing the best players at full strength. And for the Cavs, this has been a theme. They have dealt with plenty of injuries this year, and now Evan Mobley is set to miss a few weeks. Jalen Tyson looks like a real piece, but none of that matters if Garland can't get back to himself. The Cavs simply can't hit their ceiling if he's stuck playing at 60 or 70% of himself. The margin isn't there. But if he can play around 90% of what he was last year, I think Cleveland can still compete for a title. Tyson and the rest of the roster are good enough to pick up the slack around him. The team just needs its best players to be healthy for them to have a chance at the final, because the supporting cast is ready to contribute. Please like and subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Peace.